me. Nobody likes me. But that's okay, cause I don't like y'all anyway. Man, I don't like y'all anyway. Fuck all y'all. I love my watch talk for me, my whip talk for me, my gat talk for me. Bad, what up, homie? Even bitches who don't know me, they wanna blow me cause the shit I floss with be saying a lot for me. I came in the rap humble, I don't give a fuck now. I serve anybody like niggas who hustle uptown. The coke price go up, castles come down. The D's running my crib, I'm nowhere to be found. Niggas who hustle for me, they don't even stash track. They keep it on them, right there in their ass track. I don't like a nigga, I don't pretend to. I have the paramedics wrapping your fucking head like a Hindu. Look, I ain't going nowhere, so get used to me. OGs look at me and see I'm what they used to be. I'm that nigga that's so cold, the nigga that's so dope, the nigga that shot dice went broke, the so-so, the thug that pop shit, the thug that pop clips, the thug that went from 3.5 to a whole brick. Nigga ain't in his right mind going against me. My bitches painted the words I make a blind man see. Street murder, I don't believe you, murder. Fuck around and leave you, murder. I don't believe you, murder, murder. Your life's on. Welcome to another exciting edition of the TVO GutCheck podcast here on YouTube.com. As always, I'm Heel Steven.
I'm Knowledge at Wrestling.
I'm Eric.
I'm Pablo.
I'm Corey, aka SBX.
I'm Law Ads 863, aka Flowwood.
Want to welcome our guests. Obviously, you guys heard who they are. They are the WrestlingSuperFans. Am I correct with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to this exciting edition. Gentlemen, how you guys been this week? How you all been? And alright.
Pretty good. Right.
First and foremost, I know some people may not want to hear this, but we have to congratulate the Miami Heat for winning another NBA championship. Yeah, buddy.
We all saw that coming.
It's obvious. I mean, yeah.
It's like a throwback Thursday for LeBron James, you know?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you know, I mean, at least he got his rings already, like, you know. No more ring jokes, no more.
He wasn't gonna get ring jokes if he lost again.
Imagine, yeah, he would have, yeah, all the memes.
They would have just said he failed. Should have switched to another team. Just bullshit.
And you know what I found hilarious, right? Game 6, right? They're fucking losing by 6, like 20 seconds left in the game, and there's people leaving the fucking team.
Yeah, because they're fake. All their fans are fucking fake.
Oh, yeah. All the bandwagon fans. Oh, man.
Those fans are idiots.
Trying to come back here, you know.
Fucking fake fans.
I'm happy for them, I guess, you know, whatever. Anywho, another exciting week here. Start off with this pay-per-view that happened last Sunday, Payback. Let me just say, it was probably one of WWE's best pay-per-views. Obviously better than WrestleMania. Let's be honest, any pay-per-view right now that's coming off from here on out is better than Mania.
For sure.
There was so much consistency in this. You know, a lot of, you know, kept going up, kept going up. But like it should have been. You know, for every match was good. There's some things that I didn't agree with, like having the Dean Ambrose versus Kane match, you know, for what reason whatsoever, if you're going to edit and count out. It was very short, but it is what it is. But CM Punk, obviously the best match of the night against Jericho. The Cena versus Ryback match, the 2 out of 3 falls. To me, the falls were kind of corny. There's some things that, you know, you think of the 2 out of 3 falls, you think of the first fall being a singles match, not a lumberjack match. Then the second fall being that fall where it gets, you know, more extreme, like, you know, a street fight or something of that matter. And then you go into the third fall being a cage match or a ladder match. I say in one of my videos, yeah, that too. To me, like I said, the best 2 out of 3 falls that I've seen, No Way Out 2001, Triple H versus Austin. To me, though, that's my opinion, of course. What got to me was, all right, when you think of an ambulance match, right, you think of putting your opponent in through the back doors of the ambulance, right?
Yeah.
That's what you think of. They didn't do that. They had Ryback go through the top of the ambulance because putting your opponent through the back doors is too mainstream all of a sudden. Right. That's something original right there because I never thought it will ever happen. You know, or I would have thought they had to put somebody in a stretcher and then put them inside of the ambulance truck. But I'm thinking, wow. Exactly. Now that you're wrestling, boy, your thoughts on the pay overall?
Oh, the pay-per-view. I did get to see it, not live, but I did see like a replay. So I thought that was better than Extreme Rules. Definitely better than WrestleMania, but I think they did a good job. Punk Jericho was the match tonight. You know, Del Rio winning, kind of pissed me off, but I see where they're going from there. The Shield winning is good too. Curtis Axel, I think they should might as well put the title on him because Wade Barrett, they like him losing, so there's no point of him having the title. And yeah, the main event was just typical Cena just winning out of nowhere.
Exactly. Eric, your thoughts on the pay-per-view? Well,
The pay per view was. I like the pay per view. The only thing I didn't like is like Super Cena winning the match. The 3 stages. The rest was alright. To me, just it.
Pablo.
The pay-per-view, it was an alright pay-per-view. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it was the worst. It was good. Definitely better than WrestleMania. That's for sure. But I was really impressed what they did with the AJ versus Caitlyn. I mean, I thought it was just gonna be like a stupid 2-minute match like always, but it was actually longer, and I liked it because it was like these two girls that they know each other very well that were going at it, and I liked it personally. But and then Cena versus John Cena. I mean, Cena versus Ryback. Yeah, it was alright. I mean, we all knew who was gonna win because Cena, Super Cena, of course. CM Punk versus Chris Jericho stole the show. Huge pop by the Chicago crowd, of course, one of the best WWE crowds ever. CM Punk coming back, and what a great match. I really love that match. My favorite match of the night. It was around pay-per-view.
SBX.
I mean, it was an alright pay-per-view event. The first match was really ironic. And also like how Kurt Axel became to become the Intercontinental Champion, pinning Wade Barrett while the Miz was doing a figure 4 leg lock. I'm like, how is this possible? How does the referee allow this to happen? The whole point was he couldn't kick out, and he didn't go through there was no rope beside him, so I guess he took the cheap way out. But to be honest, I really don't like Kurt Axel, aka Mike McGillicuddy. So pretty much Paul Heyman is just using anybody who can be his hencman. But pay-per-view match of the Payback, I didn't really care for these other particular matches, like the Kane versus Dean Ambrose match was alright, but I knew for a fact that he was going to retain the United States Championship, though. But the CM Punk versus Chris Jericho match, pretty much CM Punk once again proved the point that he is the best in the world. And also the fact that Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler, I thought, it was alright, but I thought Dolph Ziggler should have just came back a little bit later on. They brought him too soon since he came back and had that concussion a few months back. But I don't think he was 100%. But at least I agree that, he could have just either just wait for a while or whatever. But as far as the match goes with John Cena and Ryback, the Lumberjack match was pretty lame because you have a bunch of jobbers around the ring. So I'm thinking, this match is going to suck anyways. But since John Cena had jumped on top of the ropes, and I'm thinking he was Superman in it. That was something that you don't see John Cena doing every day. But the table match was pretty decent. But in the end, the endless match, he shocked us all. But regardless, we're going to know that John Cena was going to win. So, yeah, it was an alright pay-per-view match.
Flo?
I'm gonna say that it wasn't all right pay-per-view as well, such as the Divas match. The AJ Lee winning the Divas champion. Like going Divas match going a little bit long, and as well as Dean Ambrose going against Kane for the United States Championship match. It was an all right match, but I didn't really care too much for it because I knew Dean Ambrose was going to retain his title, as well as Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns retaining their tag team titles as well too. But I pretty much know that the Shield was going to retain their titles, and CM Punk and Chris Jericho. Oh my God, that was one of the best matches in my personal opinion. They completely stole the show. I'm going to agree with Pablo on that. I mean, like CM Punk was getting a huge pop from the crowd, and that was one epic shocking return after 2 months out of being from the WWE, as well as the last match, John Cena versus Ryback. The first Three Stages of Hell match. Well, bunch of lumberjack jobbers. I ain't really. Yeah. Sorry about that. The lumberjack match was like, being around jobbers and everything, and I didn't really care too much about that first match. The table match was all right. The last match with the ambulance, well, John Cena and Ryback through the roof of the ambulance truck. That really finished it off. I'm gonna say it was an all right, decent pay-per-view, like I said moments ago. But yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. What I also noticed that CM Punk was rocking the Wolverine look.
Yeah.
I said that to myself. And if y'all notice how, a lot of people, from what I was hearing, they had trouble with their streams. Mostly everyone was like, my stream was messed up. I couldn't get to watch it, live. I had to watch it on replay. So some things, that they didn't really put in there, I guess, But now let's move on. Now let's get now to Monday Night Raw the following day. Probably the best Raw in a long time. Probably since Raw after Mania.
Yeah.
It had everything. It really did. It had everything, from top to bottom. Especially, the moment that everyone talked about. You know what I mean? Now, Joyce, what are your thoughts on the Raw overall?
I liked Raw. I actually did, yeah. I agree with what you said. It didn't feel like I was forced to watch it. I enjoyed it. Just the Del Rio CM Punk match was alright. Especially the ending where Lesnar just comes out. F5's Punk, we thought he was gonna speak. What else was there? Oh, Christian coming back was also good. Christian. And what else? Well, just the highlight was basically the main event. We're gonna get a Lesnar Punk feud. I think it's rumored for SummerSlam instead of Money in the Bank, right? Oh yeah, Mark Henry faking his retirement. That was also a good moment too. Henry. I heard he was supposed to have a program with Cena after Mania, but they gave it to Ryback instead. So now Henry's gonna get a chance, which would be cool. But I don't think he'll win the title though, sadly.
Yeah. Eric?
I like this Raw. It was alright. I like how they started this show with Alberto Del Rio with Punk talking to each other, and then Vicky comes out and puts the main event. But the thing that I didn't like is how Wade Barrett's supposed to have a match with Curtis Axel, and Christian comes out of nowhere. I like Christian, but that was messed up. But if people didn't see SmackDown tonight, he had Wade Barrett fought Curtis Axel, and Curtis Axel won. So it didn't really matter. So, but mainly the whole main event was the whole main event. Raw was basically on the main event, and I like how Brock Lesnar attacked Punk. Like I was surprised for a long time. Like, since WWE's been disappointing me for a long time.
Follow up.
As for me, again, I agree with you, Steven. I really think that this is one of the best Raws we've seen since a long time ago. First of all, we see CM Punk, come out. Well, first of all, we see WWWE turn heel. Basically because he's saying that they don't give him respect, blah blah. And then we see CM Punk come in. He gets cheered. Basically, it's just face Punk again. Well, sorry. I mean, just for the record, I don't think there's a heel Punk or a face Punk. That's just my opinion.
It's more like in between it. Heel.
Personally, I think it's just honest Punk, just speaking his mind. That's just my opinion, though. But again, I love CM Punk as a face or a heel, but I really love that he doesn't need Paul Heyman anymore. I mean, he can do good without Paul Heyman, and So yeah. And then we see Christian come back, Captain Charisma. I think it was a smart move by Vicky Guerrero. I really think that Christian should go for the World Heavyweight Championship just because he's only held it for 2 days, and he should go for it. And we see AJ and Kate and Vicky, Stephanie McMahon have a little face off. AJ basically just insult her, and then Kaylen comes in. We see a little nip slip. I don't know if you guys missed that. You see that, Steven?
I saw that, yeah. I mean, to me, it happened all the time. Well, not really, but...
Not the PG era.
Yeah, not in the PG era, yeah. I'm surprised that WWE didn't make a big deal out of it, or they didn't, fine her, or some shit like that. They're capable of doing something like that. They really are.
Yeah. What made me laugh, though, is, how they always puts trending worldwide, Christian, trending worldwide, everything. Caitlin's nip slip was trending worldwide, which I thought was hilarious, but they didn't put it. But other than that, good promo. We saw Mark Henry fake his retirement, which I think he should win Actor of the Year or something. This guy, he started crying and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's probably, I thought he was telling the truth. And then he, of course, does a World Strongest Slam against John Cena, and it was a fake all along. We're going to see John Cena versus Mark Henry in the next pay-per-view, of course. Then we see... CM Punk wears up with the Rio. Dolph Ziggler attacks Del Rio. I really think that Dolph Ziggler's face now. Yeah. And, because Dolph Ziggler's a good, talented guy. I like Dolph Ziggler. I was kind of pissed off that he lost the title. And then we see Brock Lesnar come out. And, man, this just stole the show. This really did, because I really want to see CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, 2 Paul Heyman guys go at it, and I really do. I mean, sure, CM Punk is the best in the world, but when you come to someone like Brock Lesnar, the Beast, a huge guy with cobra traps, his traps are so huge and everything, this guy can destroy you. So I'm looking forward to that, and I like this Raw.
Samurai.
Raw was pretty decent. Didn't really care for the other matches, but as far as CM Punk coming back and went all out with Alberto Del Rio, pretty much seeing him heel again, thinking, oh, I'm the best. But then again, CM Punk has, to come up and confront to him like he always do, pipe bombing. But I'm glad CM Punk can make it all on his own. I didn't really care for Kurt Axel, as always. The AJ and Caitlyn situation was pretty off the chain, and saw a titty from Caitlyn, and I'm like, wow, she got some nice food. She got nice food. Yeah, but on top of that, though, as before, seeing Christian coming back, and maybe besides Pablo saying the World Heavyweight Champion, maybe he can just go back and try the Intercontinental Championship one more time and go against Kurt Axel. Or perhaps in the next week's episode of Raw, they probably have a number 1 contenders match who can win a shot to go against Kurt Axel, and perhaps in the Money in the Bank. But
I'm glad that RVD is actually coming back to the WWE and especially gonna have his first debut back on the Money in the Bank. My whole thing is since he's coming back, I hope the WWE don't dumb him down. Like what I mean is like change him to something that he's not. Because Rob Van Dam is a veteran in the ECW days and partially on the WWF Attitude Era when the Attitude Era was when they had that invasion with WCW and ECW. So Rob Van Dam is known to be the effing show, so I wanted him to keep doing the same way he did in TNA. Because WWE has ways of fucking up their character. So, anyways, as far as the last match with Alberto Del Rio and CM Punk goes, and I thought Dolph Ziggler did his thing. I was surprised seeing him with so much potential and beating the hell out of Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez, and then in the end, seeing Brock Lesnar coming out to go to CM Punk's face. I knew this was going to happen because, Brock Lesnar is so predictable in a way. So, how he picked up the microphone and pretended to speak to CM Punk and dropped the microphone and did the F5 on CM Punk, which I knew it was going to happen. So pretty much Brock Lesnar is looking for another competition to go against. So let's see what's going to happen next week's Raw that is coming.
Yeah, indeed. Well, but what I gotta say about this show, it was a pretty alright, great show at the same time, especially with Alberto Del Rio cutting a promo about now turning heel officially again by the fans not respecting him, because I agree with Alberto Del Rio, everything he was saying, but what he did to have to win the world title again, same as Dolph Ziggler had targeted his knee like a month ago when he cashed in the Money in the Bank. Everything was controversial. And to CM Punk came out and they claiming that he's the best, and CM Punk really had beat him at Survivor Series 2011 to win the WWE Championship and hold on to the title for a year. The match was announced later on tonight, and then as well for the Wade Barrett going against Curtis Axel supposedly, but changing it to the returning Christian going against Wade Barrett, which Christian's shocking return. Great to see him back, won the match, and as well as AJ Lee and the Caitlyn situation. Stephanie McMahon came out and they most had exchanged words to each other, and then that's when AJ has put Stephanie to her limits and everything, and that's when Stephanie McMahon basically called her out, and that's when AJ was intimidated a little bit, and that's when Caitlyn and the other divas came out, and Stephanie McMahon told her and the rest of the divas not to come out and interrupt her again, and that's when AJ and Caitlyn had their brawl, and that's when, oh my God, nip slip right there. That was a little bit of a surprise in the PG era right there, man.
Just imagine, like someone's like, the kids that go, oh, Mom, cover my eyes.
Oh, I bet Vince McMahon is going to probably say, oh my, that's not PG. And that's when later on, the main event, CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio, and Alberto Del Rio will virtually walk out of the match, and Dolph Ziggler will attack him from behind, making a face turn, and that's when Brock Lesnar will come down to the ring, and he picked up the microphone before he said a word, quickly dropped the microphone, hit him with the F5, and I mean, wow. Oh my God, right there, dude. Oh, I gotta see this match between Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. This match could be epic right there. Two Paul Heyman guys is gonna once hit each other. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be at the Money in the Bank or SummerSlam or something, but we gotta wait. We gotta see what's gonna happen this Monday on Raw.
Yeah, honestly, but just to go back on that whole Caitlyn and Nip Slip situation, right? The only thing that would have made that whole segment like the cherry on the top of the cake, right? All you needed to have Jerry Lawler just say puppies.
Yeah,
Yes.
no.
Oh
I was
my
expecting
God,
that.
yeah.
I was expecting that. I
Yeah,
was
me too.
expecting that.
So,
Just for a little flash.
I heard in the crowd.
Yes, but as far as Brock Lesnar and CM Punk, I would rather see these guys go at it at SummerSlam. To be honest, think about it. You have two guys who are already self-made guys in the company going at it on the biggest show of the summer, for that matter. It only makes perfect sense, in my opinion. However, for Money in the Bank, what if we had, as a tune-up, as going on to the road to SummerSlam, Rob Van Dam versus CM Punk? Think about it. It's in Philadelphia, home of ECW. The crowd going to be split half and half. You guys remember Survivor Series 2006?
Yeah.
When it was Team DX against Team RKO, whatever, in that Survivor Series elimination match, and CM Punk was on Team DX, and the whole crowd was chanting CM Punk's name, even when he wasn't even tagging the match. Just imagine that on that night. It made total sense. Right. Do you think with that? Do you guys agree with that? To an extent, at least.
Yeah, I can see that match happening. I mean, it should happen. CM Punk and Rob Van Dam. That'd be a really good match. Even though Van Dam's getting a little older, it's not like he's the rustiest guy in the world. He still has something.
Yeah. From what it looks like, he only made like a short-term deal. So it's not like he's gonna be there for like 2 years, 3 years. He might do that Brock Lesnar deal. Remember when he had that 30 dates? Like he'll appear at Money in the Bank, then appear at SummerSlam, appear on and off. Most likely maybe a Rumble appearance, maybe a WrestleMania match. Right. You know what I mean? But just like The Rock, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like The Rock, yeah. Or Brock Lesnar on his first term. Remember when he came back for that first time? Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
He's getting paid way less.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Just hope they don't give him a wellness test. Anywho, yeah. Let's get into now the whole Mark Henry segment. Probably the best segment of the night. Probably the segment that people will be talking about for a very long time. Because let's be honest here. All of us were fooled. Yeah. All of us. No one saw that coming. I mean, the minute I saw him cry, I'm like, holy shit, this shit's real. Mark Henry's about to fucking retire. You know what I mean? But if you just watch the whole segment again, okay? WWE throws at you certain clues where they make it seem like where they pretty much tell you, you know what, this is a work. Here's how. If you listen to JBL's commentary, the minute Henry was holding up the WWE title, JBL said that's one title that he never has held, the WWE title. He's about to retire. And then you hear Mark Henry say, when he talk about his accomplishments, I've been a former World Heavyweight Champion. I've been a former ECW World Champion. I was the World's Strongest Man Champion. Like he was saying it like something was missing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then he told John, like, you know what, John? Thank you, but this belt is earned, not given. Like, those were the clues that pretty much told you, you know what, this is a work. But overall, probably the best segment of the summer right now. Knowledge and Wrestling, your thoughts on the whole Mark Henry segment?
And this dude, he deserves an Oscar. He did really good. Freaking crying and shit. Like I really thought he's gonna leave, be gone, and like I was just wondering why Cena was still in the ring. I'm like, I understand, he told you to stay, but like I was expecting him to just leave like pretty soon after Henry held the belt, but Cena was just staying there. I'm like, all right, are they gonna bring the whole roster out like they did with Edge? And Henry, he was just listing his accomplishments and stuff, and then when it just shocked me when he just hit the world's strongest slam on Cena, I'm like, wow, this dude is really. So now when he really retires, we won't even know because he could be playing us again. But I think this was a really good segment. It really had a lot of people fooled, and it was just the best segment tonight.
Eric?
I agree with him. But the thing that threw me off was the little promo he was saying about his next opponent for Money in the Bank. It was like I didn't like that part. But Mark Henry really surprised me. He deserves an Oscar, like he was saying. I like how he telling people like little tricks, like he brought his boots to the ring and all that. Not to the ring. He left it on the stage, and then he came to the ring and was crying, and then Cena gave him the belt, and I was like thinking in my head, I think something is kind of fishy right here, and luckily I knew when he was gonna hug him, I knew he was gonna do the world's strongest slam on him, and I'm happy he did it because I'm tired of his John Cena crap.
Pablo.
What can I say about this segment? I agree with you. This was a really, really fun, exciting segment because we all thought Mark Henry was going to retire. I mean, this guy, I agree. Well, I agree. This guy deserves an Oscar. I mean, he started crying. He started mentioning his children, and he started like having the crowd on their side, like clapping on him. And it was like an emotional moment that everybody was just like, "Wow, this is big." And of course, the thing that threw me off was probably like what Flo said last time was that he told John Cena to stay in the ring. And, other than that, I'm like, okay. So then he started crying. I was just like, okay, so nothing's really going on. He's probably going to retire, which was, I thought he was. And then, of course, they go in for the hug. And then Mark Henry literally does a world's strongest slam. And then he yells, "You think it's that easy? I still got a lot of gas in the tank." So basically, Mark Henry isn't done. He basically means, I still got a lot of gas in the tank, which means he's still on for a ride. I mean, this guy is still capable of everything. And Mark Henry, of course, he is one of the world's strongest men. I mean, he completely, he can go, what about the whole thing about him going to the WWE Championship? I don't want to see Mark Henry versus John Cena. I mean, we've seen it a lot of times already, but for the WWE Championship, I guess.
The thing with that is, we've seen it before. We've seen it, I believe, the day after WrestleMania when it ended with Mark Henry. I think it was he lost to get a count out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So to me, it's like we've seen it before. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Henry be the WWE champion, but I mean, at this stage right now, it's like it's whatever now, to be honest. If I remember correctly, the original plan was to have Daniel Bryan and John Cena at Money in the Bank. That was the original plan. From what it looks like, what they're going to have now is have Daniel Bryan win Money in the Bank and have him cash the SummerSlam. What it looks like.
Kind of dumb. He doesn't really need the Money in the Bank. I mean, he already proves that he could be a contender without it. He already won Money in the Bank. He doesn't need anything.
Yeah, but as I was saying, just Martin versus John Cena, I've already predicted that John Cena is going to win, of course. This is my prediction. So yeah.
Samurai.
Well, I mean, I thought this was going to be fake at first. But I'm saying, like, man, I don't think he's ready to retire yet. He looked like he has enough energy. So when he came out, like during this before commercial, Darren Young was crying like a little bitch and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, this is for real. And he got on his little pink suit on, looking like Herbie, and with these pants look so tight, he can't barely walk. So I'm like, yo, son, is this for real? And walked him down to the ring and had his little speech for a minute. And John Cena was like, okay, I'm going to stay for a little bit and see what's going on. Because since Mark Henry asked him to stay for a little bit, and I thought this was going to be a Kodak moment. But apparently, like what everybody said, I agree with you, Steven, and And you, Pablo, I thought he was a good actor too, doing these little crocodile tears, and I was assuming that he was actually going to retire because when we look at it, we a lot of people been retiring as of lately. Like look at HBK for example, he had to retire after the last WrestleMania against the Undertaker. Look at Edge, he had to retire too of his Achilles. And then when I looked at Mark Henry, I'm like, oh man, another Attitude Era guy's going to leave. So I felt a little bit like, damn, this is it. So when he asked, when John Cena was about to supposedly hug Mark Henry, and everybody's like, oh, Mark Henry, and cheering for him, sexual chocolate and all that. Because I remember Mark Henry back in those days when he was sexual chocolate, and I thought, you know, that was pretty funny and awkward. Plus, who was he with? It was Mae Young, right?
Yeah.
But he was with that old lady. I mean, my knowledge is kind of messed up though, but I remember things, but I forgot the exact. But the whole point was the hug, the so-called hug. I thought that was it until Mark Henry did the world's biggest slam, and that's like saying, "Oh, you thought you had a friend, and just let him know it's on. I want your WWE Championship belt, and I'm gonna fucking get it." And you thought I was gonna retire, but clearly I'm not. So pretty much everybody was fooled. John Cena, the WWE superstars. I mean, even though it's supposed to be a role play, but most likely for all, he fooled the whole WWE universe. So I'm thinking, I should have been there. But I admit that was not predictable at all. That was very unpredictable at all. So he's not only the world's strongest man, but he's the world's biggest actor because of those crocodile tears and those heartwarming Kodak moments. So let's see what's going to go down with that match between John Cena and Mark Henry. Perhaps on Money in the Bank, John Cena had to pretty much defend his WWE Championship belt against Mark Henry. So I'm going to assume that John Cena is going to win again because pretty much the WWE wants John Cena to win. And because that's WWE's favorite guy. So that's all I got to say.
Well, what I really thought about this segment of Mark Henry announcing his retirement and when John Cena was about to leave the ring and told him not to go anywhere because he needed to say something to the audience, the people in the back, and John Cena himself. I mean, like, when this dude was crying, I believed him kind of for a second because, you know, I mean, wow. Those crocodile tears, it really got me thinking. I mean, when a wrestler comes out to announce his retirement, that's got to be one of the emotional moments. I sometimes cry myself too, but on the inside. And that's when John Cena was giving him the belt, holding him up and everything. That's the title that Mark Henry never won. He became ECW champion and world heavyweight champion, but that's one thing a title never won, and that's the WWE title, you know. And that's when Mark Henry was saying his goodbyes, gotten the crowd excited, chanting his name. When John Cena and Mark Henry was about to hug, boom, world's strongest slam. And I mean, he just fooled everybody. I mean, me and my brother, we saw this coming. We absolutely saw this coming. I mean, it was a joke. It was a setup plan all along. But you know, I was crying myself on the inside when he was crying to announce his retirement and everything. I mean, retirement's got to be one of those emotional moments to announce, man. You know, and I mean, at the end, Mark Henry just fooled everybody and got a lot of gas in his tank left, and he's coming for that title. And that's going to be the next pay-per-view, John Cena versus Mark Henry for the WWE Championship. And I mean, like, we all know John Cena is going to retain his title again. Maybe so, maybe not. We just got to wait and see what happens, you know. But I doubt he will retain his title and everything, you know. And that's all pretty much I got to say.
Okay. Again, we got to see what happens with that. See what they plan on doing. Now let's get on to Money in the Bank coming up. You know, this pay-per-view is known for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Probably, in my opinion, that should still stick with WrestleMania and have its own pay-per-view. But it has grown. It has grown. It gave people opportunity to go for the world title, the WWE title. But the question to you guys is, who do you guys think will win the Money in the Bank ladder match this year? People are saying Daniel Bryan, but if it was up to me, if I had to pick a winner, I would pick Antonio Cesaro. I think he deserves it. In my opinion, I think he deserves it. Now,
Steven really supports Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah, if you guys watch my WrestleMania documentary, right, over the weekend at Access, I was lucky enough to be for Cesaro's Q&A. I was waiting to get an autograph from Tyson Kidd, and I was watching the whole Q&A. And the minute he comes out, if you watch that video, you see me just marking out. I start chanting, Claudio, next world champion. Some little kid told me to shut up, but it's so funny though. So fucking hilarious. Now, Joe Rogan, who do you see winning the Money in the Bank ladder match this year?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah, that is. I mean, a lot of guys that should win. I mean, last year it looked like. Last year, what was it? 2012. Who won Money in the Bank last year? Ziggler and Cena, right? Yeah, Cena. This year should be. Let me think. I mean, it should be someone who like never even had a chance to contend for a world title, like Cesaro. You still got Cody Rhodes, and he hasn't been doing anything but jobbing. Wade Barrett. Who else? Those are the three that come to my mind: Cesaro, Cody Rhodes, and Barrett, who like are just stuck doing nothing, and they just need something to elevate them. Just push one of these three. I'd say you could go for Wade Barrett because he just lost the IC title, so I always wanted Wade Barrett to get a world title push, and he was getting one with the Nexus, but I don't know what happened. So I would be happy if Barrett would win the Money in the Bank.
Eric?
I agree with him, but I think they're gonna give it to someone that probably was the champion or probably stepping it up. Like, I think Antonio Cesaro, maybe a Miz who recently won it a few years ago, maybe a Cody Rhodes, and I don't know, because lately I haven't seen much, like, thinking like next level, like next world champion type. Maybe a Sheamus, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. That's all.
Pablo?
I have a crazy dream prediction. I know this is probably not going to happen. You probably think crazy, but since RVD is coming back, and this is what comes to my mind is I hope that RVD is still capable of competing. You know, I mean, I really have a really crazy prediction that he would be in the Money in the Bank, win it, and cash it in on John Cena. That's just my opinion. But literally, that would be awesome, though.
It would be, yeah. You never know. WWE, they have this. Here's the thing with the WWE. They come up with so many ideas, right? And at the last minute, they had this tendency of the idea that they have to just change it out of nowhere.
Like The Rock versus John Cena. They were going to turn John Cena heel, never happened.
Exactly.
Last second. Yeah. The Rock's pissed because of that. Yeah, but no, as I was saying, I really think that Cody Rhodes would actually go for the Money in the Bank. Yet again, I think he'd just stick with Sting and Santa all the time. If I could see anyone go for the Money in the Bank, I'm not sure about Daniel Bryan, but I think Randy Orton. Because I really think Randy Orton should turn heel already.
Yes.
I mean, I'm tired of seeing Randy Orton, especially that time when that match with the Money Night Raw of Daniel Bryan. Why would he even kiss him in the forehead? That was the gayest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. So I'm like, I really want to see. Randy Orton does his best work as a heel, and I really want to see him turn heel again. And it would be perfect if he would cash it in on John Cena, if that were to happen, if he were to win the Raw. But I'm pretty sure he won't. You know, but and then that's what I have: Randy Orton, or I was gonna say Curtis Axel, but since that changed, you know,
Yeah, that really did change a lot.
yeah, that really did change. So I have no one else to go with because it's just so confusing and so hard. You know, yeah.
Samurai.
Well, Pablo pretty much had a good idea of that if Rob Van Dam actually did compete in the Money in the Bank ladders match, and we will see him in his full potential. But if he did manage to get the briefcase and perhaps go against John Cena, that I don't know how that will look. Maybe everybody who are non-John Cena fans would be all happy, like, oh, yay! And all the little kids be like, no! And, but if he did, I think he should hold, if he did, or anybody else would win the Money in the Bank and got the briefcase, they should wait for a good while until whomever is champion and have a complete good cheap shot. So, I mean, I don't have a idea of who would be participated in the match and who will actually win the match. Let's just see what's going to go down in the later series of Raw and SmackDown for perhaps for the number one like who can be contenders of the match. It's the same way as it always going to be. Or they're just going to pick random people and choose a jobber who might get a shot. So pretty much all Money in the Bank matches, it's always who's going to win, who's going to survive, and who's going to have an opportunity, who's not. So, I mean, as far as the match goes with Rob Van Dam, I just hope we should see him in his full potential. That's all I'm going to ask for. And I'll be so fucking pissed if the WWE is going to change his views or whatever. But what Pablo was saying about if not Rob Van Dam, but if Randy Orton was heel and if he did compete in the Money in the Bank, that would be really good. And perhaps I want to see him go against John Cena and turn heel. That way, it will spice up the match again. And I really, as I said, you know, I can't be very precise on the idea of the match. But if it goes down later on, we might have a clear prediction later on and see what's going on. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Flo.
Well, what I gotta say about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view and so far as the match itself, I don't know who is going to be participating through those two Money in the Bank ladder match, but I know RVD is going to be competing in one of them. And so far as RVD, he already became the Money in the Bank winner at WrestleMania 22 back in 2006, and he cashed it in on John Cena at ECW's One Night Stand in 2006 and won the WWE Championship. And then 2 nights later, he became the ECW champion. And then that would make him the first man to ever become the WWE champion and ECW champion at the same time. And I mean, that was so amazing right there. You know, that was so amazing, holding 2 world titles at the same time. Man, that was got to be one of the bestest moments in RVD's career, you know, until his career went down the toilet with his marijuana charge and arrest and everything, you know, and so far as the Money in the Bank itself, I don't know who's going to be participating up in there, but I got somewhat of a little prediction. I'm guessing Cody Rhodes is going to win the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match, you know, and probably hold that briefcase until he cash it in or whatever, or he's just going to be sticking with Damian Sandow for the rest of the time, you know, because the Team Rose Scholars is not getting anywhere as we speak. But, you know, as I say again, I don't know who's going to be in the two Money in the Bank ladder match. We just got to wait and see. Or have a strong prediction who's going to be the Money in the Bank winners for Raw and SmackDown, you know. But that's all pretty much I got to say.
Cody Rhodes should have won it a long time ago. Like 2 years ago.
I don't even care.
That was getting to the topic. Zeb Culter has probably, what it looks like, has found someone new while Jack Swagger is dealing with his court cases. But when I heard about Jack Swagger, he might end up getting some jail time. What it looks like.
Not good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, looks like he might get some jail time. How long? We don't know. But damn. But anywho, what it looks like, he's probably in the look of finding someone new. What looks like it's Antonio Cesaro. Let me say this. As a Cesaro fan myself, you know, whatever gets him a push, so be it. And if it means forming a tag team with Jack Swagger, hey, even better. You know, what WWE needs right now is to, you know, rebrand their tag team division. And if that means making up more team, more factions, so be it. Knowledge of wrestling, your thoughts on all that?
Swagger. You see, Antonio Cesaro wouldn't have been in this position. Swagger wouldn't have fucked up with the marijuana charges and stuff. But it's good to see Cesaro doing something. I don't think he's right for that position, to be honest. But
how dare you?
I'm just saying, like, what does him and Zeb Culter have anything related? Nothing. Why? I don't get why he's in that position, but. You know, it's cool to see him on TV, but he needs a mouthpiece too, because I don't think he's that. He's all right in the mic. He's not the best, but I think for now it's good. Will it last long? We're just gonna have to see, because Swagger, we don't know what's going with him. Yeah, I heard he has a hand injury and he has to deal with court dates. You know, he just fucked up his whole career right there, Swagger. And look at Cesaro. If they do it correctly with Zeb Culter. He could get somewhere actually, and they won't like bury him as a lot of dirt sheets were saying.
Yeah, Eric.
I agree. I don't know why they put Antonio Cesaro with Zeb Culter or whatever. It doesn't go with his character because he's European and he's like racist.
Anti-racist?
Anti-American.
Whatever. Yeah, but to me it was kind of funny how he put that flag on. I forgot who he put that flag on Raw. I forgot who he did it on. William Regal. Was it William Regal?
Yeah, it was William Regal. Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, and about Swagger, he just fucked up. Period. He was on a roll. He was I think they were gonna go with I think they was gonna push him. I'm not sure.
I mean, they had him for the world title WrestleMania, but he lost.
Yeah, they were gonna push him just for the world title. But I don't have much to say because it's not, and I'm not enjoying this segment, like the segment with Cesaro and whatever. I'm not into that.
Alright, man. Do not get pissed at me, but I really think Antonio Cesaro is on my top 10 list as a jobber. Alright?
How dare you?
No, who agrees with me? Who agrees with me?
He
to be honest, though, he was no jobber in the Ring of Honor days.
No, he wasn't. But
however, the WWE is always putting him in a spot to just let him stay there.
Because when he was the U.S. champion, he was losing still, which made no sense, and I'm glad that he lost the U.S. title.
Boring seeing him And you know what I hate about the most is that stupid arm thing he does.
I
He
fucking
goes in the
hate
ring,
that shit too.
He sticks out his shoulders and his chest out.
That is really stupid.
It's funny.
No, it's not.
Nah, but
It's
Antonio
really
Cesaro with
not.
Zeb Culter, it doesn't make sense. I mean, Zeb Culter even got pissed off at Wade Barrett, who is an English, an Englishman, a British. He got pissed off because he was an immigrant here in the United States. So why would you have a European like Antonio Cesaro who speaks 4 languages,
5 languages.
and then 5, and then like be with Zeb Culter, who is like anti every race and only believes in America? It just, in my opinion, doesn't make sense, But Zeb Culter is a good promoter. He does give really good promos, like what he did with Jack Swagger. Speaking of Jack Swagger, man, I feel bad for that guy. That guy he screwed up his whole career. Because I really think that his new gimmick with the whole "We the People" thing was really, really cool. I really liked him like that. Seeing not the push-up Jack Swagger like he usually does, but the whole, mean character one that breaks legs and everything. But
Yeah, it seems.
yeah. But as Antonio Cesaro, I can't see him go for any title right now. If he were to win Money in the Bank, I just can't see him as the Mr. Money in the Bank. I don't know. They really need to change his character into a much meaner person, And putting him in a match against William Regal, a guy who hasn't wrestled in like 5 years, the guy is really out of shape. I mean, poor guy. That guy just needs to go to the Hall of Fame and just be done with. But, Antonio Cesaro, you were good in Ring of Honor days, but here in WWE, they're really screwing you up. That's all I gotta say.
I think it's stupid when he says "we the people." When he says it, oh my god. Why? Just the way Cesaro says it doesn't even match his character. It's so dumb.
I mean, would you rather have Yodel all this time?
Huh?
Would you rather have Yodel?
Have who?
No, absolutely not. Just change that weird shoulder chest pump thing.
He needs to get rid of that.
Okay, that or the Ryder fist pump?
The right fist pump is better than that shit.
Yeah, because everybody cheers for that.
Exactly.
You know what I would have rather seen as well? Form of fashion, right? But put in as well Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins with Jack Swagger.
I think
and Alex Riley as well.
Yeah, I think Alex Riley should have been the one in Cesaro's position.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, I think Alex Riley is a good wrestler and he's a great. I think if they gave him the right managers and the right character, he would be the next face. That's just my opinion. I think he would, if they gave Alex Riley that big push, like they did with John Cena when he came into WWE, he would be the next face. That's what I think. But that's WWE just keep on having John Cena there.
Yeah. That's what you got. Samurai?
Oh, man. I'm kind of wordless on this, though. I mean, I just think, on Jack Swagger's situation, I feel like he really fucked up. I was never a Jack Swagger friend. I thought he was actually stupid in real life. But as far as the marijuana charge, a lot of WWE wrestlers and superstars and divas always get in trouble for stupid stuff. But, however, it's like, I don't know why that Lorax guy, I don't even know, I want to call him the Lorax, because he looked like one. But I don't understand why, he chose a European, and he's American, and talking bad about America. Yeah, America has a disadvantage. I mean, but the whole thing is this guy is a freaking hypocrite. He's going to choose someone who has a better knowledge and is more compatible on what he does than an average American would. But I think Cesaro his character is a little bit hypocritical as well. But I do admit he's a decent wrestler. I will say that, especially in the not King of the Ring, but Ring of Honor. Sorry, but I just think perhaps they need to give him a push more besides the United States Championship. He needs to go for more, but I want to see him as a face to see how this will turn out, because I think he might be good as a face or perhaps a good heel. I'm not really sure. But, you know, he's still, I still think he's still new to the WWE. And I need to see more of a progress with Cesaro than he was in the Ring of Honor. So, I really don't have much to say about it. Let's see where he's gonna end up going from here. But as far as Jack Swagger goes, I don't wish nothing bad about his career being a state. But you just gotta realize that, you know, this marijuana thing was really out of proportion. I thought he was out because of a hand injury, but it's just more than that. I just think every time when wrestlers are always out, it's basically we thought it was an injury. Or maybe it's going to be a long hiatus, but clearly they're going through some drug problems. So the WWE takes that seriously. I think every company should take that seriously when it comes to drug paraphernalia and things of that nature. So that's all I have to say.
That was an echo right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I really got to say about Antonio Cesaro now being the manager to Zeb Culter, however, but, well, it didn't really match his character. I'm going to go with Pablo and SBX on this one, because I know when Antonio Cesaro had debuted, when he had aligned himself with Oksana, won the United States Championship, left Oksana, but he would later become anti-racist and everything about America, just talking bad about America. I'm gonna go with SBX on this one. Yeah, America has its ups and downs, but when he aligned himself with Zeb Culter, it just didn't really make any sense. The dude speaks 5 languages: German, French, English, Italian, and Swiss. Yeah, speaks 5 different languages. However, why in the hell would they have Antonio Cesaro align himself with Zeb Culter, and Zeb Culter, however, it just want to stay very loyal to his country? I mean, like that we the people shit. And then Antonio Cesaro had the match with William Regal, which William Regal, yeah, he is out of shape. We all barely see him wrestle on TV or even at all. He's mostly at his time in NXT, the developmental territory of WWE and everything. But, you know, despite William Regal having won any world titles, he did become tag team champion and intercontinental champion, I think twice, however, but he really has to retire and go into the Hall of Fame or something. Or perhaps if he doesn't go into the Hall of Fame, if he does leave the WWE, goes to whatever promotion, TNA or something like that, well, that's pretty much, he needs to lose a lot of weight, you know, if he wants to get himself in shape again. As well as the Jack Swagger situation goes, him being out with the K-Fab hand injury, but in reality, he's dealing with court issues right now, you know, with his recent arrest back in February, you know, for speed, marijuana charges and everything. I mean, like, I know Jack Swagger, when he debuted back in 2008, he had he had somewhat of a career when he debuted on that downgrade version of ECW, became the ECW champion. Then later on, he won the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 26 back in 2010. 5 days later, well, actually 2 days, he cashed it in, became the World Heavyweight Champion, which was all right at first, but, you know, people wasn't really taking them serious like he was supposed to. Then he became United States Champion when he beat Zack Ryder for the title. Then right after losing that title, his career sort of was going downhill. And when he teamed with Dolph Ziggler, however, when they was going against matches as a tag team, that will eventually fade off, and Zack Ryder took some time off. When he came back, a long beard, almost long hair growing to his neck, and then that's when he had him aligned himself with Zeb Culter. I thought at first when Zeb Culter came back, I didn't know who he was. Because he was in WWE in the past, and he was in WCW, TNA, and came back to the WWE. I didn't know who he was back then, but when they had performed this new gimmick called "We the People" about being a true American, I thought that was pretty stupid and racist at the same time. And now people was basically calling him a ripoff of Kurt Angle, because he was using his attire, his moves, and his pretty much everything he do about the American gimmick, And then that's when he was feuding with Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler for that World Heavyweight Champion, which Dolph Ziggler had a concussion, however, and Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger faced off in a match against Extreme Rules and for the number one contendership, and that's when the last time we all seen him, and that's when he had to deal with the court cases and everything. But I don't know, it's unknown when he will return. I guess when, just like you said earlier, Eric, he might be facing jail time. We don't know about that, but we just gotta wait and see what happens. He might get probation or something like that, but he might just clear it up, and that's all I gotta say.
Okay, now let's get into the final segment of this podcast. That's involving Matt Striker. Recently, he didn't get released or anything like that, but what happened was his contract ran out, and the WWE decided not to renew his contract. What are you guys' thoughts on Matt Striker overall? Like, what has he left on you guys as a memory, and where do you see him going? Knowledge of wrestling? I'll start with you.
This guy, Matt Striker, he wasn't the best wrestler, of course, but he was very knowledgeable. He was a former teacher, but you could tell he was a real wrestling fan. During the when he was a commentator, he would always reference back to some past a match from the past from the WWF days, and related to what was happening now. I always liked him as a commentator. I felt like that it sucked that he took the back seat. I think it was because of Booker T. He got into the commentary. He got out the commentary table and he only commentated for the jobber shows like Superstars and Main Event. But it sucks that he got released. But it looks like they weren't really gonna do nothing with him. He was just gonna be a backstage interviewer and just a backup commentator whenever they needed him.
Okay. Eric? Your thoughts on Matt Striker?
Matt Striker, I really don't care. He wasn't even entertaining on WWE TV. I like how he was knowledgeable about wrestling, but mainly I didn't enjoy his work on WWE.
Pablo?
He's probably gonna end up heading to TNA or maybe I don't know his future, but really didn't like him in WWE.
Matt Striker. Well, let's see. Honestly, I didn't like the way this guy wrestled. I didn't like his promos. I didn't even like him in the commentary. Just because his voice was so annoying, everything about it, I don't know, it just annoyed me. Just hearing his voice and everything, so I don't really care that he's leaving. But I really do, I actually think if WWE really gave him a huge push, if they did that, and that time he would have been a world champion. But he never got the opportunity, but here's the thing, Matt Striker, I honestly think he's going to go to TNA. Because basically whenever a WWE superstar gets laid off or, they get fired or something like that, they'll go to TNA. And he's going to go to TNA, he's going to be a commentator probably. Or, yeah. As for Matt Striker, a lot of people liked him because of it, the way he interviewed people. I didn't. But yeah, I just hope that Matt Striker, like John Laurinaitis used to say, I hope him the best in his future endeavors. I hope he does good. And let's see what goes on with him. So.
Best luck on future endeavors, kid.
Yeah, dude, I miss John Laurinaitis, dude.
People power.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys really Do you guys miss Big Johnny? I do. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, sometimes
I
I
like
do.
the guy.
He back at WrestleMania, you know,
Keep-
week after. But I
Yeah,
thought
but-
that he was gonna play a huge role in the whole Cena turning heel. I thought that.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, he could be Cena's manager or something, but no. I really do miss John Laurinaitis, dude. This guy, he made WWE so much fun. It was so like his voice and the way he used to like botch every single word he said. So yeah.
Samurai.
Oh man, I mean, Matt Striker, he really never really got to my attention too much. I mean, at first I thought he was just another jobber, but as far as his commentary skills, it's not bad. I thought maybe he's just only good for that, but sucks to see him go, and perhaps he might go to TNA. Better yet, he looked like he could be in the Ring of Honors, just doing commentary or something. You know, it's I don't think it's never going to be the last of nobody, because you're going to regardless see anybody in whatever wrestling brand it is. Like for me, for example, I thought Jeff Hardy's going to be gone and went to jail after this drug situation, and plus losing against CM Punk, but really his contract was up, but it didn't affect me watching him on TNA and all that. But back to the whole discussion about Matt Striker. Like I said, I don't really care for him as a wrestler, and I don't really care for him as a commentary guy, but I can vibe with it, you know. It's just, as I said, it's no biggie. I really don't have much to say about it. But perhaps if ECW had came back in full effect and it was like maybe in the 1990s, that'd be much better. But like I said, you know, whatever floats his boat, whatever pursue him to another career is all right. Maybe he could be a professor. Or a coaching, like, or teaching people
How to wrestle and all that.
Yeah. Hey, that's another thing he can do. Because he can teach. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So that's all I gotta say.
Blue?
What I gotta say about Matt Striker, I mean, like, this guy was absolutely going nowhere in the WWE. I know when he first debuted, had that gold medal match against Kurt Angle, and then went on to be teaching the audience or the Zaza when he was a teacher, then moved on to ECW, became part of the New Breed, however, manager to Big Daddy V, and later on became a commentator, however, host of NXT. And I mean, like, he was having his on and off matches, you know, every once in a while, and having backstage interviews, mostly commentary, but I didn't really care too much for Matt Striker, you know. But Matt Striker was all right, but he wasn't going anywhere in the WWE. So whatever his future holds, like TNA, Ring of Honor, going back to teaching, going back to school teaching, or basically just being a coach, however, that's good for him. That's what pretty much I gotta say.
Yeah, just hope that Matt Striker does something that they'll appreciate, you know?
Here's my thought about Matt Striker overall. Here's my hypothesis, if you will. I mean, in the ring, yeah, it wasn't really much there, but what I respect about him is his knowledge for the business. You know, when you hear him in matches, like, he would talk about the history of, like, you know, back in the day, you know, like, go reference back to the days of, you know, Luther or George Hackenschmidt or days of Harley Race. You know what I mean? You remember the commentary that he would give. I think overall, one memory that will stick to me as far as Matt Striker goes in his commentary career would be Royal Rumble 2011 when Booker T came out and how he marked out, you know what I mean, his excitement of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gave you that, you know, excitement, that thrill, you know. And overall, you know, whenever someone gets released from the WWE, like one of your like favorite wrestlers, right? At first it hurts, like you are used to seeing someone there. For example, with remember when Daniel Bryan got released the first time? You remember that, right? When Daniel Bryan got released the first time for choking out Chester Bonnett with the tie.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it affected everyone because everyone was such a fan of Daniel Bryan, right? And they wanted him to succeed in the WWE. And it affected everybody. But overall, you learn to accept it and you move on.
Yep.
You know? But that'll be probably one of my fondest memories of Matt Striker overall. And maybe, who knows, maybe he can go to TNA, and if he does go to TNA, fire Mike Tenay and have Taz and Matt Striker, or have him go to Ring of Honor, have Matt Striker and Kevin Kelly. They will probably make a good, two-man commentary team. You know what I mean? And let's see what happens for him. But in the words of John Laurinaitis, best luck, my future Devers kid.
Yeah.
Well, this pretty much wraps up the Team Hill GutCheck podcast. We hope you all enjoyed it. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. And I want to thank all you guys here on the Skype call right now who took the time out of your day to be on this podcast. Hopefully one day we can do it again.
Thank you
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. We had fun.
Yeah. As always, I'm Heel Steve. You can follow me on Twitter at Heel Steve and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you're watching this humble little podcast from right now.
So make sure you check out our page, Wrestling Superfans. We talk about wrestling all day, every day. Make sure you check out our personal channels too. Mine is Ninja BX 101. I talk about some real stuff as far as music, anime, and other life situations. So if you guys are good with an open mind, make sure you check out my channel.
Okay.
Well,
Check out my channel, Lord Ed 863, but you can call me Flowa. What I do on that channel, I do a little bit of rants here and there. Everything was on my mind, but other stuff, I like to collect some merchandise figures out of Asia. They're not ordinary figures like you see in stores in America. These are figures that's made from Asia, such as China, Korea, or Japan, or something very posable. Joints are removable. You'll find it very cool to check out.
yeah, as for me, just subscribe to the Wrestling Superfans. That's it. And also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling Superfans. Tweet us questions, we'll answer them. We want to thank Heel Steven and his team Heel for letting us be here. We appreciate it. We had fun. Hopefully, we'll do it again another time.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at HeyWalter. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/KnowledgeWrestling, and that's about it.
Follow me on Twitter at DJEricNJ and Instagram at DJEricNJ, and basically that's it.
He will be making his YouTube debut real soon, people. Sooner than you think. And until next week, we will catch you all next week. Later.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace easy.